basketball is all about.
What handle by Gilgeous-Alexander. What a gorgeous finish. Wallace with the slam. The onslaught continues. Harden.
Wow. Jokic, the collision, the play. Gets it to go.
Cuts through the D. And slams it home. Jason Tatum looking spry.
Brunson, pull up three. Brunson is locked in. Towns all the way. Air Germany is just taking flight.
James, long three-pointer. It's good. Kennard's pucking right now.
Wemby out. Put it behind his back. Spin it on off you. All the way to the basket. Oh, Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby was amazing. But checking in on the rest of the West, let's start with the reigning champs. The Suns were a little thunderstruck. They outscored them 34-2, the Thunder did, in points off turnovers. That just can't happen. It's the largest margin in a playoff game since that data was tracked. And then the Nuggets, they rallied for a double-digit win over Minnesota. Nikola Jokic, his 22nd triple-double of his playoff career. And then Jamal Murray, he poured in 30 points, including 16 of 16 from the line. And then with no KD for Houston, LeBron, the Lakers, they grabbed game one, even though they didn't have Luka or Austin Reeves. LA, they shot 61% from the field. Their best in a playoff game since 1990. But of course, the story of that game was Kevin Durant out after injuring his knee in practice. So for more on this, we say hello to our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, game one's in the past, but Houston fans, they are wondering. They are hanging on to your every word here. And by Houston fans, I'm looking at Chiney. What do we know about KD's status for game two?
Look, Kevin Durant's status for game two is up in the air. And my understanding is Kevin Durant is dealing with a deep bruise in his right patellar tendon that he suffered last Wednesday during a practice drill when he was chasing after a loose ball and collided that knee with a teammate. And that has since caused swelling, pain. It's impacted his range of motion in the leg as well. And for Kevin Durant to miss a playoff game, that speaks to the severity of the injury in and of itself. And the Rockets, they're optimistic that Kevin Durant is going to be able to return as soon as game two, but it remains to be seen, just depending on how that knee, that leg responds to this deep bruise in the patellar tendon.
Yeah, he warmed up ahead of the game, and I watched that video, Shams. It didn't look like he was moving quite right or comfortably. The good news here for Houston is that this series, it's spread out, right? They don't play tomorrow, or rather, they don't play today. They play on Tuesday, so they have a little bit more time here to be able to recover if KD's going to be able to go. So we got that in the future. Let's talk about something a little bit more immediate. Unfortunately, more injuries. Let's talk about Anthony Edwards. He had 22 points in 38 minutes in game one, but he is questionable for tonight, game two. What's the chances that we're going to see him playing?
Look, Anthony Edwards is going to be playing tonight. He's a Wolverine. He's going to gut through it. And right now, what Anthony Edwards has is, I'm told, runner's knee in his knee. Very similar to what Stephen Curry dealt with. You deal with inflammation, swelling, pain. It got to a point late in the regular season. Sources told me Anthony Edwards needed a PRP injection to reduce the swelling and inflammation. And this is an injury that requires rest for his recovery. There's no time for that in the playoffs. Yes, there's a day or two in between these games, and that is going to provide some alleviation, but he really needs that extended rest. You're not going to get that come playoff time. But Anthony Edwards, everyone that knows him, he's a Wolverine. He's going to try to play, and he will be playing here tonight.
Yeah, he's a Wolverine. That's another. Yeah, that's a good way to put it for someone who plays for the Timberwolves. Shams, thank you very much for that insight. So I guess, friends, the question isn't, is Anthony Edwards going to play? It's what is Anthony Edwards going to look like, and is it going to be enough?
And they're going to need it. You know, I really felt like that was a winnable game in game one for Denver. It wasn't like the Nuggets played poorly, but they didn't play their best.
For the Timberwolves.
It was a winnable game for the Timberwolves, sorry.
Right.
The Nuggets, you know, Jamal Murray goes 16-16 at the line, but...
And Aaron Gordon picked up 3 fouls in the first couple of minutes
Jamal
of the
is
game.
7 of 22 from the field. Jokic was very good, but not like super elite like he's been. It looks like without Peyton Watson, David Adelman's going to rely on about 7 players. He'll have a couple other guys come out there, but they're playing a tight, short rotation. So when you get in foul trouble, it's even more affects them. There is a window there. I say that because I would point out that Denver has won 13 games in a row. Even teams that were trying not to beat them at the end of the regular season got beat by them. Or they were trying not to win, they got beat by them. And if you get in a situation where you've got to win 4 out of 5 against a team that's that hot, you don't want to be in that spot.
I think there's two things for me. I think the first is you've got to keep Denver off the free throw line. They took 33 free throw attempts. There were, I think, a minus 14 in makes in my little notepad.
How do you read that? Wait, for the viewer, like just so we can show Director Ray, if we can just show this is how Bobby prepares for the show. My man is prepared.
So now you threw me off. So you got to keep him off the free. You got to throw him off the free throw line. And I want a better version of Julius Randle.
Right.
That's what I need. I need him to be there, especially if Anthony Edwards is a little bit limping here with the knee. I want a better version. I think 6 for 16 in that game. That was not in my notes, 6 for 16.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned two things that I think are key. 6 for 16, or Julius Randle's impact, right? Being better. The fact that the starting lineup combined for 83 points for the Timberwolves, like that was absolutely a winnable game. When I look at it, in reverse, or at least on tape, the runs that the Nuggets had was much more timely than the runs that the Timberwolves had. And if they had better timed runs or scoring outputs or Julius being more effective, then they could have walked out there with the win on the road.
Also, they made a big investment in Naz Reid, and they need Naz Reid to deliver in these types of games. Sorry to interrupt you.
But I also want to... Sometimes when your shot isn't falling, Jamal Murray was 0 for 8 or so from 3. I do like how he found a way to get to the free throw line. You mentioned 33 free throws they shot or so. He had half of them. And to me, that's like the sign of maturity. This has been the year of a great big step for Jamal Murray. He played more games than probably he ever has in his career. He was a first-time All-Star. When Jokic in the first quarter at least was trying to find his game because the physicality that Rudy Gobert was providing, he had a good game. Well, go ahead, Malika.
That was the other thing for the Timberwolves is wasting a game that Rudy Gobert was that good.
Yes.
You can't do that on the road in Denver. However, if we, at the risk of parroting Brian Windhorst, when we look back to that 7-game series that they had last year, the Wolves, they took 2, right, on the road in Denver. Then they lost 3 straight games, and everyone thought they were COOKED. And then they came back and were able to win, including that insane comeback from down 20. I don't know that that's the recipe with a hurt Anthony Edwards.
I would just say this team in Minnesota has a lot of playoff equity. They've been in a lot of tough spots. They've won 4 playoff series the last couple of years for a reason. Underestimate them at your own peril.
And here's Brian with cool heads prevailing because Perk isn't here to say keep a cool booty about game ones and what they mean. All right, let's move on here. We gotta shoot our shot. Or
Let's
Janae
go.
does. It's time for Shoot Your Shot. It's brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Janae, tonight's parlays. What you got, sis?
All right, I'm going to start off with, of course, the guy who averaged a triple-double. I'm going to say he's going to get more than 10 assists because he averaged around 11. And so this is like a layup for him. Also, moving forward, Aaron Gordon had himself a game. He was always at the right place at the right time. He is going to have more impact because of Rudy Gobert's performance. I think he's going to get more rebounds as well. And last but not least, Cat. Big Cat, he's back. He feels good in this series. He attacked it not only in the paint, but also knocked down his three-point shot. So I expect another big performance, 20-plus points from him.
Fast math time. All right, that parlay gives you a plus 416 odds. That's better than 4-1. $10 wins you 41.60. We've got Nikola Jokic to dish out 10-plus assists, Aaron Gordon with at least 7 rebounds, and Big Cat to score 20.
Hey, pick on me, not Perk.
All customers can get a profit boost every day of the NBA playoffs. Download the app and use the promo code SCREEN.